Last night we've received another Counter-Strike 2 update, as I sort of predicted in my previous video. And this one addresses not only the bug which we talked about, but also a couple of other things. As always, of course, the timestamps are in the description down below, so if you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so. And without further ado now, let's dive into today's patch. Starting off with a weird change I noticed in the main menu, it seems like Valve has recently changed the color of the update banner from blue to yellow. This isn't really too important, but it still seemed kind of interesting to me, as I'm not entirely sure why this has been done, but since it wasn't really mentioned anywhere, maybe this is just a bug or something, but I'm pretty sure it recently changed. Anyways, let's move on to the other changes, to the quote-unquote brand new game mode Chicken Strike 2. As mentioned, Valve ended up addressing the deathmatch bug, which we talked about in the most recent video a couple of days ago, which prevented players from gathering any points from player kills. As only chicken kills counted, which was pretty interesting to say the least. They definitely need to turn this into a fun mode at some point. And alongside with this, they also fixed the issue that was happening in the arms race mode, where you were not able to win with the golden knife and basically had to wait till the time ran out, which we also talked about quite recently. But it's nice to see that these have been addressed now. Alongside with this, an old bug made a return to CS2, which once again allowed you to clip your first-person camera view through ceilings. This of course gave players that abused this an advantage, as they could spot players through the floor on some maps like Vertigo and Nuke as an example. And since we're already talking about one of our favorite topics, clipping issues, I recently spotted another one of those over on Nuke, which I already reported to the developers. As you can see, this one is basically like the last one I spotted a while ago, which Valve ended up fixing. Moving on to the next patch note, where they fixed a weird bug with the C4, which allowed players to throw it outside of the playable space. Normally when you drop the C4, there are invisible walls which prevent you from doing so. However, after a recent update or patch, when you quick switch to the C4 and instantly threw it away, you were able to bypass those blockades, which allowed you to drop the C4 out of the playable space, as you can see in the background footage. It's good to see that this game-breaking bug was addressed rather quickly. But according to DuDuck on Twitter, there's many more locations where the bomb can get stuck in, which I will leave a link to in the description down below, so definitely make sure to check this one out. And lastly, for this patch, we've also received various stability improvements, which hopefully addresses the issues players have had since one of the recent patches. And that already concludes today's video. I hope it was informative and enjoyable to watch. If it was, consider subscribing and of course leaving a comment. Thanks for watching, and I will see you of course in the next one. Bye guys.